Hi, sixth graders. This is Mrs. Kaufman again. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to actually create a works cited page in NoodleTools.com. And this, of course, is assuming that you've already watched the first video and you've set up the account in your name. So if you haven't set up your own NoodleTools account, please go back to the previous video and watch that first. But if you've done that, then you can keep going forward with me. So what you'll notice when you log into NoodleTools is this will be kind of your default screen. And if you look at the top, you'll see there's a series of tabs: projects, dashboard, sources, note cards, paper. You're going to be working in projects for now. And if you look down a little bit, you'll see it in the left-hand side at the top, there's a green button where it says new project. So you're going to click on that. Okay, and then it's going to ask you to actually create a project title. So for our purposes today, we're going to be typing in Writing Lab Health Project. Okay, and then once you do that, you're going to see there is an option for a citation style. We're going to be using MLA. APA is another one that's oftentimes used. Chicago is used, but for our purposes, we're going to be using MLA. And then you'll see the next option will be citation level. And since this is our first time using it, we're going to click Starter. So once you've selected those, you're going to click Submit. Okay, and automatically it's going to bring you to the Dashboard tab, but what I want you to do is actually click back on Projects. And what you should notice is that under that blue tab where it says My Projects, it's actually created now this project for us, Writing Lab Health Project, as you'll see, and it actually has an indicator saying Open, which means this is the project we're opening right now. So for sixth grade, we're going to be doing everything under this project title. As you move through middle school and high school, you'll have a lot more projects here. But as you can see right now, we just have one, the one we just created. Okay, so once you have this, all right, you're going to click actually back, you're going to look towards at the very top again, and you're going to click on the Sources tab. Okay, and now what we're going to do is actually write down a source that we want to include under our Writing Lab Health Project. So you're going to click at the top left where it says New Source. Okay, and now it's going to prompt you, where is it? So for today, since this is the first time we're trying this, I thought it would be kind of fun to do a sample. Well, maybe not fun for you guys, but maybe interesting or somewhat educational to do kind of a sample one. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that you are actually the author of a article that you've written and that was posted on a website about how to survive digital learning in sixth grade. So we're going to pretend that this was an article and it was published by the New York Times, but right now it's actually also on EBSCOhost, which was the database that we were working with back when we were at Saltbrook. So I'm going to have you guys click on where it says website, because for our purposes today, this is an article that you've written and it was published, and now we can find it when we go through EBSCOhost. So you're going to click on website. Okay, then it's going to prompt you, what is it? And since we said this is an article that you've written, it's going to be published on a website. So you're going to click on a web page. Okay, then you're going to see a whole lot of options down here. And I'm going to kind of walk you through this one step at a time. So you'll see the first section says website, and then underneath that you'll see it says URL, and that's basically your hyperlink or your link. So you're going to just type in EBSCOhost, because we're going to pretend that this article was published by the New York Times, but then it was also put into EBSCOhost's database. Okay, so you're going to type in EBSCOhost.com. For date of publication, let's pretend that this was published quite recently in, let's say, April 2nd of this year. So let's do April 2nd of 2020. Okay, now a nice feature I like on NoodleTools is where it says most recent date of access. That means when was the last time you actually looked at this article? And most of the time you're going to click on the little today button, and it should, there we go, fill in all the information for you. Okay, so now we're going to scroll down to the section marked web page. Okay, and you are going to be the contributor, because we're going to pretend that you were actually the person writing this. So first you're going to click on the drop down arrow where it says role, and you'll see it'll give you a couple of options, whether you were the author, the editor, or the translator. Most of the time you're going to be clicking on author. Okay, then you're going to type in your first name. I'm going to do my first name, but you, of course, would do your own first name. You don't have to worry about your middle name. If you want to include it, that's totally fine. Okay, I'm going to type in my last name here. Okay, now, what's nice about this too is that we're going to pretend that you are the only author of this article, but oftentimes you will find that there are multiple authors. There might be 2, there might be 3, there might be more. And if that was the case, what you would do is you'd click this blue button here where it says Add Contributor. And if I did that, you would see that it actually just added another line in there for me where I could write down the information from the other author or the editor. But we're just going to do one author today, but just so you know, that is an option there. Okay, now don't miss this one down here. Before we move on to website, it actually says web page or document/article title. So like I said, we're going to pretend that you wrote an article. So you're going to type this in, how to survive digital learning in 6th grade. Now, something I really like about NoodleTools, or I should say another thing I really like about this, is that if you notice, because this is a title of my article, I have capitalized all the important words. I didn't capitalize to, I didn't capitalize in, but if I had forgotten to do that, like let's say I just put grade in, like this, you'll see that green screen that will come up that'll actually tell you you did something wrong. So it'll say something like the first letter of the word grade should most likely be capitalized. All right, so this is kind of a nice check for you. So if that green box pops up, you need to make sure that you look carefully and you fix something in your title. Okay, moving down. Now we're on the website section. Okay, so the name of the website, we're going to pretend that the New York Times publish this. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this instead. We're going to go back to EBSCOhost. Let's pop in EBSCOhost because that's actually the name of the website where you found it. And we'll say the New York Times was the publisher. Now I'm typing this in like this for a reason because I want to show you that usually the word the is not included in the publisher's name, even somebody like the New York Times, even that kind of newspaper. So you would take out the and it would just be New York Times, and that's totally fine. Okay, now that's really the last thing you need to do. Down here it says annotation where you can make different notes and things like that, but you don't have to do that for now. So now if you look up top, you'll see a blue button that says save. So you would click save and then you'll kind of see those dots appear. And now if you look, a green screen kind of flashed up quickly that said citation successfully saved. And if you look here, you'll actually see what we call your citation, which is your the article that you wrote. Okay, so you'll see it says my last name, comma, my first name, period, and then in quotation marks, the name of the article that I pretended to write. And then it has EBSCOhost, which is the name of the website. New York Times is the publisher. It gives you the date, it gives you the website, and then it tells you when it was last accessed. Okay, so this is all that you're doing for today. Now, oftentimes when you're writing a paper, you're going to be doing more than one of these, meaning you need to do more than one citation because maybe you're using 3 or 4 or 5 different sources. So you would create a different citation for each source that you're using. Today, I just want you to do this one. So now what you would do is you would click up top here to where it says print/export. Okay, so if you look in the top row, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th button on the top, and it says print export. And this is probably, I know I've said a lot about NoodleTools and how much I like it, but this is probably my favorite feature, and I think you'll really appreciate this. If you click on print export, and if you look down, I think to the 4th one there, it'll say print/export to Google Docs. So what's so nice about this is you click that button and it automatically takes this, puts it on a page for you, and it's going to pop up right in your Google Doc account, which is amazing. So if I click on that, we just have to wait for a second for the magic to happen here. Okay, and you should see here, this is amazing, and I'm probably more excited about this than you are because this was the thing that I mentioned to you in the first video that I created was the thing that used to take me forever in college when I had to do this for multiple sources. And this was the thing that I lost on my computer before things were auto-saved. And it was just so heartbreaking. But anyway, you've done it. This is what you need to do. So now that you have this page here, what I would have you do, or what I'm going to have you do for our class today, is you are going to submit this into our Google Classroom under week 6 assignment, and this way I will know that not only did you successfully create your NoodleTools account, but you were able to go through the steps and actually create your first citation, which is part of your Works Cited page. Like I said, this one is just kind of a made-up one, but I just wanted you to go through the steps so that I know you could do this successfully. Moving forward in Writing Lab, I'll have you actually use the articles that you looked at for your health topic, but this was just kind of a practice one for today. All right, great job, 6th graders. As always, please feel free to message me if you have any problems with this, and I can kind of walk you through this. Have a great day. Bye.